Hello, it's me. Hi, it's Ross. And welcome back to another episode of Discussing Nothing, the show where we discuss so much rich, nourishing stuff, but I always feel a little bit empty at the end, you know? It's like, what was that? It was like popcorn, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a McDonald's.
Feels sick.
Yeah. Anyway, today we are joined by two brilliant human beings. Rude.
Sorry.
We've got the unsurpassable
Alex.
and the vibrant.
Tristan.
Bit of a cough there, Alex. Bit rude. What are you playing at?
I don't know. I thought I'd get it out of the way near the beginning. Probably should have held off.
Probably shouldn't have done it at all.
Not during the
We
end.
tickle?
It was just a tickle, and I
Just a
had
tickle?
to get it sorted, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I sorted it.
You sure?
Job's a good one. No, I think
Done?
I'm good. I don't think I need to cough again.
Oh.
We will see.
We will.
Tristan, you didn't cough there at all. You feeling fresh today?
Wow, fighting words.
Well, he's came to fight. And segue, this is what we're doing today. Surprise! It's another super fight with our two brilliant fighters. Alex, you won last time. Emma said you shouldn't have won. But your sushi chef beat the stilted werewolf.
You're right. I mean, let's just face it. There's a reason why Emma doesn't host these shows.
Yeah.
So, and it's because she just wouldn't have got it right. But
No,
Ross, you got it right.
I know, I did. But
And that's it.
no sweet talk, honey.
Oh, sorry.
I won't win you today's argument.
Don't need any sweet talk.
Tristan, that was your first loss in a super fight, I think. I usually think you usually get him down. What happened?
Just, I didn't bring my A game.
Yeah.
Now I'm hurting.
Yeah.
And, an injured animal is when it's most dangerous. So,
That's what they all say. But yeah, we are doing a super fight. Now, just for clarity, for some of the rules, some people say, I'm getting these decisions wrong. I'm not getting them wrong, all right? I'm getting them right, because I base it purely on argument. I don't care if a werewolf would actually win. That's not the point of the game. It's who can argue it better. So hush, listener.
I'm glad you're not a judge in court.
Yeah.
You know what they say?
We're not listening to facts here. Although if they're really good ones.
You might not always be right, but you're never wrong.
I said, don't sweet talk me, honey.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
But yeah, today's characters. Now, the boys both know their characters. Alex, who's your fighting character today?
I am a Viking.
Mm-hmm. Tristan, who have you got?
Teletubbies.
What, all four of them? Yep, 4 of them, 5 of them.
All four Teletubbies.
Wow.
Now, the Viking has some special abilities. He has a super jump,
Okay, helpful.
but
Oh, dear.
he's wearing one of those cones you get pets to wear to stop them licking themselves.
Right.
You know the one?
Yeah, no, I know the one.
Now, the Teletubbies, they all have cat-like reflexes. They're extremely agile,
Of course I do.
but they all have to really pee.
Yeah, but toddlers.
Yes, indeed. So, I say, fight.
Take it away, Tristan.
Well, I don't think your Viking would even see the Teletubbies coming, wearing the big cone of shame thing. It's sort of it's quite It prohibits a lot of
It's restrictive,
viewing.
but not prohibitive. That's what I would say. I would say it's slightly restricting on general viewing zones, but I would think most of the time I can keep you in my in my big turns. I think I'll make it.
Do you think a Viking has a very wide turning radius?
Well, it depends how wide that the cone is. That's more what I mean, as in
It's a cone. You're pretty much only able to see up.
Yeah, but I would
That's
just
a-
bend down,
Okay.
and then I'd be able to see.
What about your horny hat?
Well, Ross, do you know what? The horns on a Viking's hat is actually a myth. Thanks for bringing it up. They actually didn't have horns on their hats. In fact, they didn't even wear hats that often. Or helmets, probably. Really? They maybe wore hats, but helmets, not very often. But thank you for your classic assumption of a classic Viking.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry to the
offended.
Viking community. Didn't mean to offend anyone. I'm sorry. That's my apology to Vikings everywhere.
So no, the horns wouldn't affect me because I ain't got any.
Okay.
I'd just be free flowing. My
My
long Viking locks would be slightly crumpled by the neck thing.
Nah, it's not free flowing.
Yeah, no,
I
you're
think
right.
I'd
Slightly,
argue
but
you have to stand like this to be able to see anything. You'd be like,
As I said, I can't remember quite what I said, but it's not prohibitive. It's restrictive.
now, Tristan, you seem to, as many people know, have a lot of facts about the Oompa Loompas. How's your Teletubbies lore?
Well, funnily enough, Teletubbies was my favourite TV show when I was little.
Oh.
Really?
I think it was one of those things that when I was annoying my mum and dad, they would just put me down in front of it and I would shut me up for the next,
Say
week or
hello.
two.
Which one was your favourite?
I can't really remember what colours are what. I remember Po is a red one.
Po's red, Tinky Winky's green, Laa-Laa's yellow, and Dipsy. No,
Yeah.
Dipsy is purple.
Yellow.
Purple.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
I
yeah.
wanna say
Tinky
purple.
Winky's green.
No, Tinky Winky's purple.
Tinky Winky's purple. Thank you, Emma.
Tinky Winky then is my favourite because it's the funniest name.
It is a funny name. Now, the Tinky Winky, the Dipsy, the Laa-Laa, the Po.
There's 4 of them.
Yeah,
Well,
4 of them.
You have forgotten
Surrounded.
about the best one, Nunu, the little Hoover.
All right. So you're giving him.
All right,
you're
well,
giving him-
I was gonna bring the sidekicks into it, but you've done it for me.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
you're fighting against a Viking. I'm just saying that Nunu's my favourite, personally. As a Viking, I used to watch it, but didn't watch it.
And what about the sun? Will you be incorporating the baby sun into it?
Well, yeah, I was thinking Teletubbies, they seem to have some level of control over nature, given the sun baby and there's like the horn things that come up the ground and speak.
Oh, yeah.
Probably
So this is going to be like a horror
other
movie.
whimsical characters.
So you're gonna lure them into Teletubby land, the Viking, and kill him with nature.
Yeah, I think if you got nature at your best, then you stand a great chance against a coned Viking.
You say that, but the call of nature, which is to pee, you obviously have no control over. So I'm really questioning how much control over nature you have, because I would think that, when people go, nature's calling, means whoop, nature. Not got
That's
much
what
control
you
of
think.
that.
Not these Teletubbies. They're going to pee on you. They're not go. They do not go to the toilet to pee. They pee on their victims.
How is it acidy? I understand that would be weird.
It would be.
But if we're fighting to the death here, my Viking's just not. He's not going to be bothered about.
It might drown. Or he gets caught in the
No. He's got holes in the bottom. He's not an idiot.
Now, let's not forget, you have tellies on your tubbies. Could you use that to distract the Viking? They'll have never seen such technology.
You could do that. I think put some static, weird, horrible static. I'd put the Viking into a trance, especially if they're just sort of stuck looking in one direction. There's nowhere else to turn.
Vikings are pretty driven.
Ooh. Would you know that?
I do.
I'd argue they go on boats.
It is.
Well, they're pretty driven. I mean, they conquered a lot of land. They were actually the first Europeans in the USA, believe it or not. You don't get there by being distracted by a little television on some sort of Teletubby's belly.
So they're to blame for bringing USA to the attention of the rest of the world.
Potentially, you could argue that, but you could
will.
also
Now,
compliment them.
Vikings, did they have good fighting techniques? You seem to have done your research.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get that far, but I think so. I mean,
How many paragraphs down Wikipedia did you get?
not far. I got to the top 20 cool things about Vikings. One of them being that they don't have horns on their hats, and the other being that they went to America. Didn't
You
go to
got
Australia.
18 other things.
But no, they did conquer a lot. Like we all know, you probably did it in primary school. Did you ever go to the Viking Centre up in? Did you do that from up in your weird land?
The
where you
Viking
grew up?
Centre?
There's a Viking Centre. I can't remember where it is. Have you? Oh, you wouldn't have been there. Have you been there?
Where?
No.
The Viking
I don't
Centre.
think so.
Where? You can't even say
It's
that.
in Scotland. I can't remember, but we went as a primary school. We went 3 times. I don't know why. There's
Your
quite an
school had a bit
obsession
of
with
a-
Vikings.
Nathan's been. He played Viking dress up and they filmed a little short film dressed as Vikings.
Play the tape.
It must be
Roll
the
tape
same place.
Here.
I can't. It's like I think it's in Elgin or Ellen or something.
Probably Elgin.
Elgin, would that be right?
Elgin seems like a strange enough place to have a Viking centre.
I don't think there's a Teletubby centre. You been to one? Been to
No, but I'm also I think they're made for sort of smaller folk than me.
No, you're right, but I would think they would have been to the Teletubby centre, but I don't think there is one.
No, it's Teletubby land. That's far away. And where the Vikings didn't conquer? Teletubby land. And I think
They
that's
never got
because
there.
the Vikings couldn't.
Mate, they looked at it and were like, We're not going near those weird. They pee on people.
Exactly. They're scared. They're petrified.
No, not petrified.
You're admitting it.
No, not petrified.
You did admit you did just admit the Vikings were terrified of Teletubbies.
There's lots of places that we wouldn't go because we're just like, it's not because we're scared. It's because we're just like, I'm not wasting my time pillaging a flipping Nunu, the little Hoover thing, and taking that home back to my Viking house. We looked at Nunu Land, whatever it's called, and we went, we're not going there. They pee on people. They're weirdos. We could kill them.
No.
Waste of time.
Not Nunu.
Let's go discover America. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like bigger.
I'm gonna reel it back in.
Very
How are
now.
you murdering these sweet little tubby tellies?
Look, I'm a Viking. I don't need kick about. I don't need just like go somewhere and when I go to places, I burn my boat. That's how committed I am.
Stop
to
distracting me with
conquering.
facts.
No,
How are you killing them?
Everyone knows that. It's a famous phrase.
Axe, sword.
They burn their boats in commitment to the victory.
Sounds like another podcast.
Yep.
It does. My boat is burned. And those Teletubbies are going down. I've got a sword. I've got some axes. Do you know what I mean? I've got everything. I'm a Viking, mate. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even think I need to go. We're talking about Teletubbies. I don't even think I need to go into the weapons.
They're extremely agile. They have cat-like
Mate,
reflexes.
have you seen their little legs? I think if you pushed them over, they wouldn't get up.
Good luck, because there's 4 of them, and you've got a cone. You don't know where they're coming from. And I think no matter where you looked, you're either getting bombarded with static TV, or if you look to the sky, then that's where the baby is, their comrade, who's just blinding you.
I've got an embarrassing story to tell.
Okay.
This is quite embarrassing. I remember when I was about 9. This is valid, by the way. Remember when I was about 9, I was on a walking trip in. Actually, I would have been younger. I mean, about 7. I was in California, and I remember walking. I started a walk. I remember walking, and I remember thinking, I need to pee, right?
Yeah.
But what ended up happening, I was like, this is embarrassing. What ended up happening?
Is this the place you want to tell it?
I've started, so I'll finish. I thought, you know what? I don't want to stop walking. I'm just going to try and pee and walk at the same time. I was 7, okay? Hold your judgment. I'll tell you what.
No one asked you to say this.
Mission unsuccessful. There is no way that if they're trying to pee on me and attack me, they're standing stationary. Like I've been there and I've done it, and it doesn't work. The Viking is killing them. He's killing them.
Wow.
You can only look at one direction at once. You don't know where they're.
I don't even think. I think I could kill them with my eyes shut. Like we're talking about Teletubbies. They might be quick. It's like being like, oh, there's a quick mouse, and you're like a human. It's like, well, it's just quick, but eventually, like, I'm gonna win. Like, I'm gonna get it and just stand on it.
I think you're thinking of Teletubbies back in the day. That was 20 years ago when they were just toddlers. They've grown now. Think of if that was them then. Think of what they're like now.
How big they are now.
Yeah, they're like giants, and they're cat-like reflexes.
Do you know what? I mean, fair. If you just beat me on sheer weight, based on the fact that if they were childlike, I can concede that against 4 of them, like weight often wins. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so you're conceding.
I'm conceding if the made up, all of a sudden the Teletubbies are now like 8 times the size.
Sweet, they grow.
No, they don't. They're fully grown
Yeah.
Teletubbies. They're not little baby ones.
They're creatures.
No.
Hold. I'm stopping this. This has been a good argument so far. I'll let you have final arguments soon. About a 30-second pitch. Why they'd win the fight. Attacking. Defending. Blah, blah. Emma, come closer.
Hello.
How are we unraveling this mess here? What have you got? What do you think of Alex's tactic of embarrassing himself to win the argument?
See, I think it was a good tactic. You made a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're forgetting there's 4 of them. They could take turns at who pees when. I think they could get 1 or 2 of them peeing on you, whilst the other 2 are attacking you from behind.
It's got really lowbrow.
I think just the sheer number, and I agree, I think Teletubbies are deceivingly big and probably quite heavy. And I know that Vikings were, but I think you just haven't touched upon the fact that Vikings are notoriously really vicious fighters. And I feel like you didn't touch on that enough.
I'm gonna
I
give
feel like your research stopped at the helmets, and then that was it.
Right. I'll just leave you with this, and then let you have your arguments each. Tinky Winky is 11 foot tall.
Oh dear.
Alex, I think you just accept defeat.
Right, I'm ready for my final argument.
Begin.
What I haven't even mentioned yet is how vicious and how willing Vikings are to kill women and children when it comes to it. They'll go into churches and kill little monks and priests to steal just a little nickel. And even 11-foot Teletubbies do not stand a chance against a slightly lame Viking.
Tristan.
Well, despite the viciousness of Vikings, they're also heavy believers in sort of gods and demons and stuff like that. And I think if they saw some 11-foot tall Teletubbies walking towards them, they would just be like, okay, take me to Valhalla now. The end is here. And plus, we touched on the peeing abilities. And that's before we knew they were 11-foot tall. That's some large bladders they've got, the size of small paddling pools. And I think that would be enough to overwhelm.
Well, I must say, there's been some brilliant arguments on both sides. And I think, Alex, you fought valiantly.
Thanks, mate.
Really well. But you know what's coming.
I do.
And I think you know this as well.
11's foot.
Torrent of Teletubby pee.
I'm not gonna lie. When planning this, I had no idea they were 11 foot. I thought they were quite small. That's why I gave you 4 of them. I would have only given you 1 Teletubby, like knowing that. So I will have to give it to Tinky Winky and the crew. Good win for Tristan there, Alex. Hard lines. You'll get him next time, and keep scanning those Wikipedia pages.
Thanks, mate.
You do really well.
Wish I'd told the peace story.
Well, thank you very much. Tune in next time for more stories of Alex's childhood. Goodbye.
Goodbye.